Thanks for joining us, Kristy and Michelle. We are continuing the conversation about making and keeping friends as an adult. Today's question, what is the value of having a friend? Let's get started.
What is the value of having a friend is what you asked.
Yeah. I laugh as, we know, you know when you meet someone, this isn't my person. We were talking about this earlier. You can feel and be like, okay, I really am going to empower this person. I'm going to spend time with this person. I'm going to do whatever, but I'm not letting them in. You know, this, do you know what I'm saying? So where do you?
I am stuck on that one. What is the benefit of having a friend?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of them.
Okay. But okay, there's our ideal, and then there's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times friends can make us feel inadequate or make us feel like we're not doing enough, or
that's when they place expectations on us.
Yeah.
And I think that's human nature. We all do it. I catch myself doing it all the time, not necessarily with my friends, more so with my children or my boyfriend or, my employees. You're supposed to do this when you're my boyfriend, or you're supposed to do this. What is a friend supposed to do?
Just like with your daughter, a middle schooler is supposed to have a bunch of friends and not be sitting by themselves. But then reality, I would like people to really think about that for a second. How many of us have had our ideal experience with a relationship, friendships, whatever? What?
It's like any relationship. It's an adventure. It's a journey, learning and growing. We're going to make mistakes. So I think, to me, the value of a friend is a connection. Someone that I want to be able to be myself with, that I can be completely raw, and them, they're going to judge on accident at times, but be willing to come back and be like, let's talk about that.
I think going back to what you had said in the beginning of our talk today, you had said Kristy doesn't like rules. So I think what it is,
being told what to do.
I think what it is Kristy and I need a friend that doesn't come with a box of rules.
Yeah.
I
love that.
How many times do we hear that's not politically correct or that's not appropriate? I'm like, fuck that. If I feel like saying it, I want you to be able to go, that's Michelle. What does that have to do with me?
Nothing. I had a coach that worked for me at one point, and she would make fun of me because I like to put a little braid in my hair, and I love bows. And she's like, are you 5? And with that comment, I still don't forget that. That's over 10 years ago that she would say that to me, and I won't forget that. If I walked into your house with a bunch of bows in my hair, you'd be like, girl, you're feeling it today. You wouldn't care.
And I cannot have people around me that look like me. What do you get from that? How can I have a conversation with you if we agree on everything and learn something? How can it would be so boring, and a world would be gray to me if every person that was around me looked just like me or talked just like me and had the same beliefs as me. I couldn't do it.
Well, there'd be nothing to talk about.
So I guess that's what makes us odd.
Yeah.
Because I know that people in my circle, if they go someplace and they're not wearing the style, the name brand, they don't have the Stanley, then they're like, I can't go.
I don't know what my cup is.
I can't go. Walmart. There's a problem with them, and they can't get past the social anxiety to have a good time. And I'm like, bring it. I'll just do whatever. I'll wear whatever. If I have something in my closet that doesn't really go with whatever the theme is, I'm like, I'll just make it work. It'll be my best day ever.
And do you know what? People will come up to you and be like, I love that.
Yeah.
I wear butterfly dresses and pineapple dresses. And I love that. And everyone will come up to me, and I don't know if they're being nice or not. They could be making fun of me, but I love it. They're like, oh my gosh, I love that butterfly dress. And they're probably turning around and being like, what the hell is she wearing? I think it's adorable.
Yeah.
And it's showing that I'm alive.
And I'll come in the room with my mustache.
You do not
my whiskers.
Get out of here. My God. So, okay. But I love the thing you said about the box of rules.
Yeah.
How many of us bring a box of rules in our life when we're looking for a friend? Is there a box of rules when you're like, I wonder if I have one? I'm like kind of self-evaluating when I'm meeting people, whether I'm letting them in or not and how far, or like I tend to be a person, I'll share everything about me. But when you try to love me back, I'll be like, oh, that's so nice. Like I don't let you in.
It's so it keeps saying that, but you were never very. You're like you only asked me questions about me.
Interesting.
I think
so.
It took us a long time to get to our friendship.
Oh yeah, I think. All right, how do we break that down? Because that's very interesting.
You never were like very open. I didn't know how many kids you had. The only thing we talked about was like if it was a specific conversation, and we would just be like, "Oh," like I think it just never. And it wasn't until the last couple of years we started going on walks and connecting and going, "Can I trust her with this?" And I think our relationship is what it is because it grew naturally and that wasn't forced.
Isn't that any relationship? Isn't that how it should be?
Yeah, but I think that in other relationships, like I would go all in, expose myself, and then give the wrong person ammunition. And I'm like, why did I give them? Why did I tell them that? Now they're
and they use it against you.
Yeah.
Even in romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Even in marriages, when you've been with someone for a really long time, giving people power. So as a friend, you're trusting me with the vulnerable parts of yourself.
Right.
If I choose to use that as a weapon, I've ruined our friendship. Even if we keep faking it till we make it, or we ruin our marriage. I mean, it's repairable, but now you've literally, my mom used to explain it as, have you ever been to Sam's Club or let your kids get the freezies? Like what are they called? Like a slushie?
Yeah.
Well, they're in freaking foam cups and you have a little kid with the straw. Oh. They're poking holes in the bottom and it's pouring out the bottom. That's like a relationship, a friendship. If you share or you use their vulnerabilities against them, you're just poking holes in the bottom of your cup. Yeah. Eventually you have nothing worth saving.
I don't think those people that do that, and I probably was one of those people at one point because I've been on all sides of this, but I don't think they think they're the problem.
Like they're unaware that they're using it?
They're so insecure. My hard stop are insecure people. I cannot be around. As soon as someone starts putting themselves, I put myself down. I find it funny that I grow. I have such thick hair, but that you're always complimenting me on. But people that have thick hair have hair everywhere. You take the good with the bad.
So being bald isn't always a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. You're right, but it's just I can tease and I can have fun with myself, but I also have a high self-esteem. And I didn't always have that. I know what a low self-esteem is because I was as low can be. I think that people that are trying to fake it, like we all should, we all fake it till we make it. They are the ones that are insecure, talking about other people. You can tell that they're insecure, that they're not healthy to have a good relationship with. So don't go all in. Be their friend, but don't go all in. Because they're a drowning person is going to bring you down with them.
Yeah.
That's all.
Do you have that in you though? Like where you're like, not the savers type of, I always tend to draw people who are struggling. Do you find that for yourself too?
I did because I was,
sorry, kick your feet.
I was definitely a trauma girl, and I was always trying to save the person with the broken wing, always, and never realizing I was the one with the broken wing. And I was trying to do for others the things that I wish they did for me.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah.
We love people how we want to be loved, and that's how we can show.
And mine was fake. So the way I was I know the problem is that I had to learn how to accept love. I was a kid that was abused and had all those makings of a person that probably wasn't ever meant to be healthy. I had to relearn to accept love, and then when you do that, then you can love other people for sure.
Is it one experience at a time? Is
Oh, yeah.
learning that you can.
It's one punch in the face at a time. I got punched in the face so many times. 50% of those punches were I was a victim. 50% of them were people retaliating because of my victimhood.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
after a while, I was like, wow, those punches are starting to shape me into something. And I love
that.
That's who I am and why I'm here today.
Yeah.
Those punches. I am so grateful for every experience I've had.
I think that's the magic sentence. As soon as you can get to that place of any experience in your life, you're healing. Because gratitude is everything. Like, if you could be grateful, and there are things I'm still not grateful for, but I can say, like, the hardest things I've been through, and there's a lot. Like, I'm the furthest from perfect. The crazy stuff I've been through or can be responsible for that are not healthy or good have grown me into the person I am. So I wouldn't change a thing.
No.
Would you? Would you change any of your experiences?
Yeah.
You would. How do you choose the ones that you would change?
The ones where I hurt people.
Oh, when it affected other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to hurt a lot of people to get to where I'm at, and I'm not proud of it. I think that is what brings me to who I am, is being I show grace where I can, and I show great gratitude where I can. Grace and gratitude.
Yeah. Do you think, though, when you see someone that's in the same boat you were in, you now have an understanding that someone who hasn't walked those shoes wouldn't understand? So basically you.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge. That's the gratefulness then in that gift of those things.
Oh, yeah. It's immediate. As soon as I meet someone that was in any part of my journey, I know when to bring them close to me, and I know when to pray for them.
And for people like
Thoughts
me,
and prayers.
Yeah, because I'm not Catholic, but you have So, but that's also a gift for people like me who's had very different experiences than you.
Yeah.
So I will not know that about maybe a person that's experiencing something you did. I wouldn't understand from their angle, but having a friend who does really helps me be a compassionate, empathetic, and smart and safe human, because a rescuer like me that I'm trying to grow out of being will sometimes help when that isn't what's helpful.
It is never, it's an ego thing. In my opinion, for myself, being a former foster parent and a lot of the things I chose to do, you think in the moment that you're saving somebody else, and life is all about saving yourself and how you're presenting yourself. So I didn't do those things now that I'm, a decade out, but just because I was a good person. I was trying to heal something in myself. I was trying to do something. I was walking around, instead of trying to look beautiful and get validation for my beauty, I was trying to get validation for my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually it became where I did it for the right reasons, once I got zapped a few times and realized that I was trying to be a savior.
Yeah.
There's only, if you believe in that, there's only one savior.
No, true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And all you have is yourself.
Yes.
Two very powerful things.
You're sometimes given talents, and if you're given a talent, good for you. Use it to help other people, to help them, lift them up, cheer them up, but not as a reason to feel good about yourself.
Mm. I think that my one coach that I was working with said that to me, is like, look at the people in your life, your friends, because we're talking about friends, or your partner or your children, whomever you're helping. Are they in a better position than they were 2 years ago?
Right.
Because of your help.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And I sat down and started to look at it, and I was like, oh my God, no.
Some people are. Kristy, you are a cheerleader. Literally.
Sure.
In my experience with starting my own organization, you were the first person that was like, I buy into this. I'm going to walk this journey with you. You didn't fix it for me. You didn't tell me what to do. You allowed me to grow into it, and you supported me through it.
The whole time. Yeah.
That is different than being a savior. That you do that with almost everybody I see. That's different.
Yeah. I love that.
I think you meet people where they're at.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love that. I think that's great. That's a goal. I also think I go too far the other way.
Okay.
And now I'm realizing, am I doing that for me?
I think
am
we
I
all
doing
have
it
to
for
think
them?
about that.
Yeah. Or am I doing it because I don't want to lose them? Yeah. So it's not necessarily an ego thing. It's a fear that I don't want to lose that person from my life.
Aw, that's
right?
different. No, mine was an ego thing.
There's sometimes, girl, it's ego.
I admit it. I cannot be who I am without admitting there's a whole other side to me, and I am who I am because I don't want to be that other side.
Which is great.
I'm
I'm
cognizant of it. But I personally have not witnessed the things that you're saying about yourself. You have to point it out to me. We'll bring the camera and go to her house and see where she's doing these things, because I need to see it.
Yeah, I think it's just self-evaluating every relationship so that we are giving what people need, not out of fear of losing them.
Yeah.
Or our friendships, a fear of losing them. Being authentic, not rescuing them, but loving them through their journey. And supporting them when you can from a place of, trust me, I've done all these things the wrong way, and I'm starting to realize,
but you're doing a great job in all of it from my vantage point. I think there's a happy medium with all of that. We all start off somewhere. Like, you see that person that might need something, and your heart goes out to them. 1, 2, should you continue helping that person? Then the next thing you think about is this going to take from my family or from myself? And if it doesn't, then do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. And even if you know that there might be a loss there, unless the person's dangerous, then we don't do it.
And so I have a very hard time of knowing when someone is dangerous.
Oh.
Because I love everybody like ridiculous, even though there's probably 1,000 red flags, and I'm working on that. But then having someone who has experience and says, Kristy, like, my boyfriend's like that, you're like that, my oldest daughter's like that, like, this is not the time. That's not a healthy or a safe person. And I'll be like, oh, really? Are you sure? And they'll be like,
all I can tell you is I'm glad you picked me.
Same. Because it's a really great balance.
Yeah.
So when you're going out and looking for friends, do people do that?
Yes. There are a ton of groups where women are trying to meet each other, especially with children, maybe after their husbands passed. Both men and women. I should just say women. There are so many, like, how do I want to say that? There's so many things out there that adults are trying to bring friendships back into their lives, or learn to have a friendship after a long marriage where they didn't have the opportunity to, or their kids have grown and they didn't have an opportunity to build relationships. Transition in life is what is causing that, I think.
I mean, I think it's great. I love connection. So even if I don't call people a friend in groups like that, I love learning about people. And then I think over time you realize, oh, this is a person, like, I really enjoy my minutes with them. That's what I think of as a friend. I get to be myself and I enjoy my time. I'm not looking for anything else from it except for to grow, because and someone who's real with me. People won't say when I'm messing up. You will tell me. You would be in the most loving and kind way, like, hey, have you ever looked at it from this angle?
But you do the same thing for me.
Yeah.
Always. And I think that's how we grow. I say grow. It's glow and grow. Wait, glow.
Fro! And I need to grow some hair. Grow
and flow, but the word grow keeps coming to my mind.
I love that.
More than glow. Grow and grow and flow.
All of it. Yeah.
All of it. So we hope that for everybody else.
Yeah. And I just keep remembering what you said about without it coming with the box of expectations
and rules.
Rules, that's the word. A box of rules. Like, I know we all have them. Like, we all have to have our own box of rules for our life. But I don't want people to give me theirs.
No, I will never conform. Ever.
Well, I don't know. Do I conform?
No, and I don't think anybody should. As long as it has to do with kindness and love and, you know, being good to other people. That's the only boundary. Yeah.
Do you have any ideas for people that are looking for friends or like connection, or things you found very valuable, or things that, I mean, I observe other women, and not necessarily men, in the arena that I'm in, and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm on the other side. Like, I don't need to try to make friends in that.
I think that's a good point. I think that we pick people based on what our hobbies and what we love to do. Our hobby and our love is people. So we love to help people feel their best or be their best. That might not be someone else's hobby. They might enjoy lacrosse. I don't know why, but no, I'm just kidding. But lacrosse.
So there's sewing.
You're going to find your people, or gaming, you know,
or history, or politics even.
If you're a gamer, don't hang out with us because you're going to find us very boring. But don't put us down for not being gamers, and we won't put you down. It's like finding your own niche and, you know, enjoying parallel play with those who do not agree with you or do not see things the same. But find your person so that you don't have to feel bad in your skin.
Mm. Yeah.
Like
people
that.
aren't going to judge you. Yeah, I love it. I love
All
it.
Right. Well, we are ready to sign off here, and we will see you guys all again next week.
Yeah, can't wait. Thank you.
Bye.